Hi, this is Jody, and I'm here to talk to you again about the entrepreneurship journey and really what's the next step in this process. So in the last video, we were talking about the importance of writing down all of the ideas that you're coming up with. So as you're starting to think about what is your product or service that you are developing and that you want to go to market with, capture all of those ideas, and then the next thing is to really start putting some rigor around whether there is going to be a market for that. So the place that we generally start with, and I certainly use this as a tool when I was developing out re.digital, and we use it with our clients as well as we're helping them go to market and plan out what their approach should be to go to market for their product or service. There's a tool called the Business Model Canvas. So you can actually just Google Business Model Canvas. It might even be businessmodelcanvas.com, but just Google it. Basically, all this tool is one pager that helps you to define what your value proposition is. So it actually talks through a number of different steps. So it asks you to look at who is your potential customer segment. So, what does your target audience look like? Who are they? What are their pain points? What is your product or service, and how is it going to be solving those pain points for those customers? So just on this one page, it can ask you to really succinctly start to think about exactly what it is that you're solving for your clients. So check it out. It's a pretty simple tool to use. It's quite self-explanatory, but I will talk about what each of these different areas mean in some later videos. But I think the most important thing is, I go to a lot of tech conferences. I see a lot of tech startups around the place, and we work with a number as well. And I think that the one thing that shocks me, particularly as I'm walking around the floor of a tech conference, is there are so many ideas. People are coming up with all of these different ideas, and some of them are B2B, some of them are B2C, so they're selling to consumers as well. And people think that they've cracked something super interesting, but actually sometimes I look at it and think, you know what, you haven't thought about whether there's actually a business here. So that's the important thing about developing the business model canvas, is it actually it asks you to think about, okay, is this actually something that, one, people are going to pay for, and two, that there's actually, there's a market for this. So definitely that is the place to start before you even start thinking about anything else in regards to developing out your brand or your website or your product or anything like that. Just start doing the thinking first.